Jesus was first. He says, can you use the Greeks to scan for good quality stocks that might be ready to go higher? For instance, can you use the option gamma? Well, I've never really, honestly, Jesus, seen a better than 50-50 relationship between screening for a specific gamma on the options that relate to a stock moving up in price. I've never seen that consistently proven to me. To answer your question is in most strategies, you can search by a variety of option criteria. Delta, of course, implied volatility. So here's the covered call. You can screen by delta, Black-Scholes ratio, of course, but implied volatility, percent implied volatility range. What I set up for Pierre earlier, Jesus, was to screen by the percentage time value. But the gamma filter is not available for most of the option strategies. In the spread strategies, you can screen for delta ratio, delta of the short option, delta of the long option, implied volatility ratio, the implied volatility of your sell option. I know those aren't Greeks, but they're very commonly used for the different screenings. So there's the delta ratio, individual long option delta and short option delta. That comes really, really powerful in hand with the calendar spreads, Jesus, my apologies. Diagonal spreads, looking for the delta ratio between the two, in addition to the probability, slightly different than the delta, but very similar as well. Now, what would I use, Jesus? Looking for quality stocks that might be ready to go higher. Well, we're in the bull put credit spread search, Jesus, and I showed you that one of the things that both Ernie and I found, you saw that with some of the review we did on the covered call screens that he had in those cases, but using the technical criteria, using filters such as just simple moving average, but you can use the days the stocks crossed above a 20-day or 50-day moving average, positive MACD signal, or making sure there's a positive MACD and it's a positive above the signal line as well, the technical indicators for the stocks themselves. Bollinger Bands, Bollinger Band ranges, one of Ernie's default long call searches that he uses is called the Bollinger Band screens, where he's looking for Bollinger Band breakouts to the upside. And for the puts, he's looking for Bollinger Band breakouts to the downside as well. So those are some of the filters I use, looking for potentially stocks that are going to go higher. I might do that. Let's just do it, Jesus. Long call screen there. This is the initial values. I want to go to the Bollinger Band screen. And I'm sorry. So what we're looking at here for the technical is we're looking for stocks that are near or just broken out recently of their upper Bollinger Band, of course, of a high percentage week. And we could toggle that with a positive MACD of at least 3 to 5 days as well, or something that has just recently crossed over in that case also. So that's kind of what we focus on, rather than using the options criteria of trying to find some kind of gamma ratio, Jesus, theta ratio, or anything along those lines, or gamma scalping, for example. Ernie and I prefer to use the stock technicals themselves to look for stocks that are breaking out, showing a Bollinger Band breakout, or have had a positive MACD and consistent uptrend on those positions, or have recently just crossed over. For example, MACD had a recent positive or a recent negative, Jesus, MACD crossover as well. Okay. And Jackson, your question related to this, I'm going to say, no, we don't. He says, do you provide support on sector rotation? No, it's not something that we offer directly, but as you're researching and analyzing the positions here, there's a lot of things that we can look at under the company news and information. You can take a look at analyst estimates, and I think opinion indicators. Let me just see analyst estimates. So this goes to the Zacks page, and it gives you some details here. Growth estimates, things of that nature, and the sector rank, industry rank as well. So it's, this one's bottom 31, 11 out of 16. That's not a strong sector rank in that case. But there's other details here, and let me go back to this one. This was for GoGo. That's not something I regularly use. It just surprised me that that one was at the very bottom, Jackson, of the sector rotation. Opinion indicators. Okay, yeah, so here's one that's a little bit different. This is just showing you, based on the different oscillators, is this a buy, is this a buy? Just standard bar chart page here. But I know that there's several ads everywhere, but there's several investors I know that use PowerOptions that prefer to use this page based on what they like to look for and confidence, of course, of strength and direction, opinion, and so forth, and related to that. But it's not doing sector rotation. We've been in a phase, what, the last month and a half, Jackson, I'd say, maybe a little bit longer, where we've seen the rotations out of tech, and they went into sort of what we call the value positions, the value rotations, manufacturing, building, things of that nature, and the financials as well. Ally's been doing really well for me since I got into that position as a married put trade. I don't know if I have it exactly entered here. This is our webinar portfolio. It's not, sorry, webinar account, not my distinctive account. So I don't know if I've kept it up to date with all the positions. Okay, yeah, good. There it is. It's been in it for 44 days, got in at 47.95 as the married put position. Did an income method on it already, sold a call to generate some premium against the position. I don't think I've recorded that in this particular one. So that's sort of the case there. The Berry Plastics one was doing extremely well for me. Unfortunately, I caught with a 65 call, and I had to buy that back as well. So, but that's the financials I've seen kind of moving up there also. In that case, Jackson. So that's what we're some of the tools or features you can use to help with that, but it's not a direct sector rotation. I will look around at, I know some of our, looking around, I'll have the programmers request from our data provider. They're mostly just raw data, numbers, options, things of that nature. That come into our database, and we do all the calculations, Jackson, for the returns and the search capabilities that you're seeing. But I will have the programmers check with them to see if they have any indicators or if they have any data they play out on those cases in relation to sector rotation or sector strength and weakness. Now, a daily view that you have here is the pods on the home page. So you see I've got a lot in here. I've got my watch lists here. We've got the market activity pod set in here, the market sentiment tool, and stock gainers for today, stock losers for today. But down here, I've got the industry gainers and losers. And there's a link there to see more industry gainers and losers, but I could add the losers in here too. If I click the link on this pod for industry gainers, if it lets me. All right. So we've got today's industry gainers and today's sector gainers. Yeah, so financial services, Ally had moved up again today. I saw that energy, real estate, utilities. What's not working? Ooh, consumer cyclical went down today. Maybe that's just a one-day thing. And communication services went down today as well. But the industries were, solar went down, uranium went down. Discount stores, kind of interesting there. Intent, content, and information, kind of interesting. What went up? Banks, grocery stores, silver, semiconductors, oil and gas refining. Big day there. Okay, so that's what we were kind of a quick view that you can get, Jackson. And the two ways to do that is you can go right into the Learning Center under the Home tab, and you can go into the market activity and market statistics. This would be the market statistics, I believe, that we were looking at. Or you could link to it right from those direct pods on the main homepage as you set that up. Yeah, there's your industry gainers and losers there as well. Okay, all right. And Jackson, what we do with the webinars, you said, thanks for sharing those resources. Definitely check them all out and rewatch the videos, the amazing video. I'm glad you're enjoying it. As we always do, once this video ends, I have to convert the video to a specific file that'll be an hour and a half long. And then I'm going to cut up the segments as promised, and then we'll start posting them. And we'll probably send an email out tomorrow by about 12 noon or maybe a little bit earlier with the links to all of the different webinars, all the different sections. They'll be split out in that case. Okay, so excellent. And you would send up a follow-up question there of, is there a section on the website that outlines how to do earnings play trades? Ernie's approach. I'll give you this link first, and then what I'll probably do later on, Jackson, let me jot this down for you. I'll send you some emails. I'll send you an email, with links to other webinars that we've done outlining our thoughts and questions investors like yourself have asked about the earnings approach. Ernie's preferred approach, even though he knows that he's going to experience a volatility crush, is long straddles and long strangles. And if you go into the long straddle search, you see this one video he did, the introduction to straddle positions. where he talks about the approach he was using at one time and then a different approach he's been using for doing earnings. We prefer not to sell into earnings. We prefer not to try to do short straddles and short strangles and then get caught with the naked call and the naked put if there is an unexpected swing one direction or the other in that case. We try to look at the longs even though we'll experience a volatility collapse due to the earnings event when it comes out. But I'll get you more emails there on earnings and recent conversations we've had within the last 6 months to a year or so on that topic as well. I might even show you where you can find them in just about 5 minutes. I just want to remind everyone, as we did earlier when we were talking about the back testing results, but I do want to remind everyone in addition to that past results are no guarantee of future performance, that today's material are my thoughts on your questions designed for educational purposes, increasing investing performance and options knowledge. Any stocks or options discussed today should not be taken as direct recommendations or direct trading suggestions. Options involve risk. They may not be suitable for all investors. We did show a lot of the tools today, didn't we? I mean, we showed the custom spread tool. We showed using the custom spread tools to sort of gauge management ideas for John just recently. We showed the search tools and the search criteria for some of our default settings. We showed the portfolio tools for Alice related to the closing a position early, that 80% rule, and more. But if you like the tools you saw today, remember you can start a 14-day free trial at any time. Just go to PowerOp.com, put in your name and email address. You'll have full access to the patented search tools and over 23 of our strategies that we support. You can use our defaults as we showed today, or you can create your own from scratch based on your goals, risk tolerance, and trading plan. There's a series of signature tools, and of course, we saw the backtest tools a little bit, and of course, those portfolio tools for tracking and managing your position. No credit cards required. You get full access to the site for 14 days. After that, the subscription levels start at just $45 per month for the end-of-day data. I'd mentioned the historical service, which gives you access to the delayed tools, the delayed data, but also that 8-9 years of historical data for backtesting purposes. And of course, you can upgrade at any time. Subscribers get full access to the webinars as well. And of course, trial members and subscribers, or you can schedule a free coaching sessions at any time as a trial member or as a subscriber. Of course, free education. Some of the links I'm going to send to Jackson and to John are going to come right from our YouTube channel. You can check out our YouTube channel on Power Options. In the video section, you can search for terms such as managed debit spread. What was I talking about for Jackson there? Is its criteria and earnings plays. I'm sorry, Jackson. Yeah, so earnings. Just do a search for earnings, and you'll see all the webinars that have earnings in the title: earnings strategies, earning plays. But of course, you can also access the main webinars. Right, not all of. There's a lot on YouTube, but there's the selected ones that I prefer on Power Options as well. You just go into the free webinars section and go into options strategies, options concepts to see other education right there as well. All right, and if you think of any other questions, of course, this during the weekend or during the trading week, remember you can always email us to support@powerop.com or support@radioactivetrading.com. You also call us during market hours at 302-992-7971. Remember, trial members and subscribers, you can schedule a free coaching session at any time.